And so I'm going to give you 5 things here to not only get on the lifeboat, but when that lifeboat is being built, it is going to be the most sturdy boat that you can imagine. You're not going to worry about getting attacked by some sharks. It's going to be an ark, essentially. That's what you want to build for yourself and your family. And so number 1, obviously, is get some Bitcoin. That's the first step. And like I said, that is something that will be good for everybody. If you have some Bitcoin, even regardless of the amount, you're going to buy yourself some time, because you think about what you're doing there. Basically, what you're doing is you're putting your energy, your capital that you have today, you're putting that into Bitcoin to store your purchasing power into the future, because everything is getting so expensive right now and it's not going to turn around, right? That quote we talked about from Eric, no one's going to come save you. There's not a single person, not a single politician, any decision maker in the world who has the ability to turn this around. It's gone. And so that's what you need to be thinking about in the back of your mind, that not only buying Bitcoin, but you have to start setting yourself up in a way that so that Bitcoin doesn't diminish, because you're still going to have to pay for everything in your life, right? So the Bitcoin will hold on to your purchasing power for a little bit longer, but eventually you're going to run out of that Bitcoin. It's not going to be there forever, and it's going to go down, it's going to go up. But through that, you have to be building a system in your life that's earning Bitcoin. And so let's get through this checklist here. So number 1, get some Bitcoin. Number 2, learn how to protect that Bitcoin. And I talked about the threshold there, 0.25 of Bitcoin. If you have that 25 million sats, you should be investing some of your time and money into securing that Bitcoin, whatever that looks like for you. Maybe a cold card, maybe 20 hours on YouTube learning how to do that or use that cold card, but you have to be protecting that Bitcoin. And if you're somebody who has 1 Bitcoin or 10 Bitcoin, you have to be taking this stuff seriously. You have to be, because you have no idea what that's going to be worth in the future. And so I would be, if I was in that position, I would be hiring somebody to help me with that, just to kind of walk me through it. Obviously, you never give them any sort of access to your Bitcoin stuff, but just have somebody that on that track, right? So you want to have a multi-signature setup. You want to have somebody there to advise you on what to do with it. And it is something that you have to start taking very seriously. So learn how to protect that Bitcoin. Number 3 is build your network. This is probably the most important part of this whole thing. If you want your ark, we'll call it, not a lifeboat. If you want your ark to be sturdy, you have to have the people on there that you want. And so build your network. Start with doing that online via Nostr. That's what I would focus on. Twitter is a cesspool. Everything else, Reddit, the Telegram, it's all junk. Get onto Nostr, start meeting some connections there, start online. And then from there, slowly over time, start meeting people in person. As your network grows, you're going to start finding more and more people who are geographically close to you. And so not only online, but once you have some connections built online, start moving that to real life, in-person stuff. Because that's kind of the next phase of this, is you want to find people to build yourself a circular economy, in a sense. It's kind of a buzzword in Bitcoin, but it is every expense you have in the month, whether that be food, clearing snow, the old system over time. So start building your network online and then in person. Very important. Number 4, start working at night and in the early morning, or one of the two. But take what it is that you do every day, whatever your skills are, and start doing that for Bitcoin. At night, in the morning, figure out ways to, once you have that network built, find people who are willing to pay for the work that you do, whether that's a product, whether that's a service. Find people out there who are willing to pay you in Bitcoin for whatever it is that you do. And the best way to do that, because you don't want to watch this video today, email your employer and say, I'm done. going full into Bitcoin. I'm doing this today because you do have those expenses to pay, and Bitcoin will buy you some time during that transition, but you have to focus on earning Bitcoin. So start working at night, start working in the early mornings, start offering your skills to Bitcoiners and start earning Bitcoin day and night. It will provide you the transition. It will get you more Bitcoin. It will buy you more time. And when that time comes where you actually want to leave your job, your fiat job, you're going to have a very nice foundation there to go off of. Hopefully at that time you have some recurring revenue every month in Bitcoin, and that's going to set you up. It'll take a lot of stress out of your life. It'll buy you a lot more time. And that's the best way to do it, is just start doing that at night and in the mornings. Even when I was working at my job as an accountant, every morning, every night, I was working on King Golf stuff. And then when I eventually left my job in 2021, I had some sort of foundation built there. It wasn't earning enough for me to live off of yet, but at that time there was a lot going on in the world, and I was kind of forced into it, and I had to really adapt myself to it. And it definitely wasn't easy. It's still not easy today. But the more you can set yourself up for that leap, the better off you're going to be. And the best way to do that is slowly in the morning and at night. And then finally, once you're ready to take that jump, number 5, create an income stream that earns Bitcoin. So whatever that looks like to you, and I would suggest, this is me personally, and this is what we're going to be talking about on the Living in the Future show today, but find a way where you can earn multiple sources of Bitcoin, whatever that is, whatever that looks like. If you want to start a Zap.stream every single day, 6 in the morning, you wake up, have some coffee, you talk about your interests, that's a revenue stream for you because you got Zaps coming in. Over time, everything's going to take time here. But that's one stream. You also design, this is a good one actually, design chicken houses, chicken coops. So whatever it is that you do, if you do something at work that other people can benefit from, and you can take that work and sell it to people for Bitcoin, that's an income stream for you. And you want to have as many of those streams as possible that are earning Bitcoin. Another one would be, what would be another one? Fountain. So you can kind of leverage this in a sense that you have stuff that you actually do for work, and then you have other avenues of earning sats, such as the Fountain app. So if you don't have the Fountain app today, go grab it from the App Store. Just head to the App Store, download the Fountain app, start listening to podcasts. The Daily Bitcoin Journey is on Fountain. So if you don't have time in the morning, or you want to listen to a certain part again, or just put it on and not even listen to it, you can earn Bitcoin every single day just by turning on Fountain and listening to a podcast. So try to create as many of these streams as you possibly can, because then even if it's 1,000 sats per stream per month, if you can get that amount up, that's when your life is going to change. And that's when you're going to start accumulating so many sats that you don't even know how many you have anymore. That's the point you want to get to. And it is doable. It's yours for the taking right now. There's so much opportunity, and these are going to dry up over time. As more and more people start to clue into what's happening here, these sources of sats are going to dry up. So you're going to be more reliant on your value to the world, but that's okay. That's what you should be focused on anyways. That's your core stream here, is whatever value you add to the world, get Bitcoin in return for that, and have that as your core stream, but then create 10, 20, 30 streams around that of sats flowing in. So I hope that makes sense to people, in the sense that if you own Bitcoin and that's all you do, and you're hoping that that's going to carry you through this transition, it's not. And that's a hard reality for a lot of people who have this hope and dream of, just because they bought some Bitcoin back in 2024, that they're going to be set up for the rest of their lives. You're going to buy yourself some time. Your lifeboat will be afloat for a while, but eventually it'll sink because it's not solid. And so you have to be building the system, building this network, and building your foundation of Bitcoin coming in. And that's going to be the key to, surviving this flood. I hope that makes sense.